All right, we back at it again. He laughing behind the scenes. Y'all don't even know what's going on. Welcome to another Felon to Phenomenal podcast. I am your host, your Felon to Phenomenal coach, your reentry specialist, your mindset coach, Coach T. Brought to you by my brother in crime, my brother in Christ, my brother in
Another one.
progress.
Yeah,
Uh,
my
Terrence, Tyler, what's up, my guy?
What's going on?
How you feeling? How you living out here in these streets?
I'm feeling pretty content. I can say that.
Content. Okay,
Yeah, content. Um,
that's a good word choice, man. I'm gonna have to put the buzzard out there on some of y'all because some people think have a negative connotation when you
yeah.
say the word content. But
I know a few people that have a negative connotation on the word content.
yeah, I mean, at one point in time in my life, I did.
Yeah,
Uh, but just for definition
appreciate you.
clarification, as an adjective, content in a state of peaceful happiness. As a verb, satisfy. As a noun, a state of satisfaction. And that's where I'm gonna stop right there. So to be
Because
content
that's all we need.
is
That's
good.
what I'm at. Exactly.
Is good.
That's why I'm at. It's amazing. Like you say, when you change that attitude and that mindset and that perception of things that you perceive it to be, when in reality it's not that way, and you kind of accept that, you get that peace. You know what I'm saying? You become satisfied, and you're actually able to move forward with joy and happiness. And that's just kind of where it's at. Like, it just is what it is. We're gonna make it happen, Captain. We're gonna do it to the best of our ability. That's all I got for
Okay.
you.
It sounds
That's
like
it. That's
somebody might be knocking on the front door of Thrive. Sound like somebody might be getting out of survival mode and be
Sorry.
introducing themselves to thriving,
What?
because that peace will bring along clarity as you continue to move. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Well, I don't know if that's what's happening, but I know what's happening right now. But
Uh,
it is what it is. But I just come to the point that, hey, this is where I'm at, and I'm content with that, and I'm gonna do what I need to do to be prepared for when the time is here. So that's just it.
okay, the time is here. What time is here for what? What's the time for?
For me to move into that mode you talking about,
Okay,
that
okay,
thriving,
okay.
that thriving mode. That's what it's called.
I got you. I
So
got
that
you.
thriving mode. Trust me, I ain't comfortable here. I can tell. I said I'm content here. I ain't comfortable
Right,
here.
right.
Right. Yeah. So
Nah.
that's what that's at. You gave me a nugget and a jewel that I end up utilizing. It's
Okay, talk
crazy.
about it.
Um, you told the people that I had the capital to go a different avenue with my T-shirt and stuff. Actually having someone else print the prints up for me, and I put them on the heat press. Well, I'm having issues with like supplies in order to fix mine. So I think I'm also in the process of like doing other things that I need to add to it. I just added a free day RIP software to my computer. What a RIP software is, it is something that talks to your printer and you plays mediator between your printer and your computer to let the printer know to do what it needs to do in order to print the image. Your printer does already have one, but when you're doing something different with the printer, such as DTL, direct to film, you need someone else to communicate a different language because he doesn't speak the same dialogue. So what ended up happening is that the computer would tell this software that would tell the printer to tell the other the printer to print this like this, which is to make the white and all that other stuff, which is not originally originated to do. So I'm also doing that as far as like moving on with the process of things that I did not know I needed in order to make this work. That's probably why I ran into the complications that I did and wasn't able to print up the way I did. I didn't have that RIP software. So that's now the piece of the nugget that you gave me. The piece of the nugget was to actually go through someone else. So I have an order for some graduate shirts that some people needed done, and I don't have a printer. So what am I gonna do? Am I gonna say I can't do it for you, or we just gonna make it happen? And that Drew that you gave me was the decision that I made. There's two options to do it. One, of course, my our other brother, the other connection to the trio. You know, he come in. He been in the business for a while. He's a computer tech, so he definitely supports and he
Shout out to
comes
that
through
boy
when
Dre
it is.
Jones, man.
Shout out Jay Jones, King Jones,
King of the
King of the
North.
Hood. Yeah, King of the North. Yeah,
King
King
of the
of the
Hood,
North.
whatever you say. Oh
I
no,
think that's King of the
KOD.
Hood. Yeah, KOD, King of.
Oh wait, look, we messed it up.
We did. You gonna have to pull up, homeboy, and tell us what that is.
Yeah, yeah.
We messed that all up, but it is
Oh no,
KOD, ain't
it's
it?
KODH. So King of the
It
Hood.
is
My
King of the
bad.
Hood,
My
right?
bad.
KODH,
You
that's
had
what
it
it is.
right. You
Yeah,
had it
King of the
right.
Hood. Okay, so yeah, he come through and then he's gonna transfer it to a file too that I can actually go through another company and get the
Mhm.
prints done, and they'll send it to me, and then I can just put it under my heat press and still get the job done. So that's one of the things. But also on top of that, I'm in this group chat, and one of the guys that actually got into printing got into it because he does purses, right?
Mhm.
And he was getting patterns from a certain place for the purses, but he ended up not being able to get it. This is just like a far fetched idea of how circumstances would come in that would get you involved doing something else that you never knew would accomplish it. So your idea might end up being something that could become permanent because this guy, that's why he got into the t-shirts thing, got him a printer and everything, because now he makes his own logos to put on
Mhm.
the purses that he was originally selling, but getting the logos from someone else. So
Mhm.
mine can be a twofold thing as well. Mine be I was trying to start with making my own with someone else drawing it to the sense of just having someone else print it up and I make it and then add the tag on to it. So you just never know how that works out. But just giving that knowledge,
Yeah.
was helpful for me to be able to utilize right now today. So what you think
Well,
about that?
I'm glad it was helpful, man. I mean, that was really just on the base of saving time. Um, I obviously putting some personal aspect in there because I'm not an artist. I don't know how to use Adobe nothing. So I mean Canva. I mean use Canva. Create some designs, but it was just like if it was me, I'd definitely be outsourcing all that because I ain't no artsy. I mean, the best I can do is help you describe something, but most of the time, I'm so extra creative and emotional. My thing is, I want to tell you something, and I want to know what that sparks in you, and that's what I want. I'm gonna describe a scene and a feeling and try to get you all encompassed, and then want
Right.
you to create that.
Right, you do. I was just about to say that same thing. So, I mean, that's good to even understand with yourself and me, like what we discussed on one of the other podcasts, being creative myself and just love to build things. You know what I mean? Even when it comes to the business aspect, I'm really not looking to be all hands on when it comes to these business. I'm gonna need an entrepreneur in my entrepreneurship because I need somebody that I can trust, reliable, that can be there, to make sure everything holds together while I just come and oversee them in a sense. You know what I mean? Because so it's kind of like that same thing. So by understanding that with yourself, you know which avenues you'll take. Matter of fact, you was telling me something a long time ago when you was talking about the landscape, and I'm not gonna go into full detail about that. But just the other day, talking to a brother from church about him being in a travel agent business, and I was thinking about, even touching bases on that just a little bit myself, just to be able to travel for free. But then after listening to everything that what he's saying, it's like it's really not too much of a passive income. And I will be putting more time and work in it, which I want to touch back on the time thing. So remind me about that later because I'm definitely gonna forget. We be so rabbit trailing. But it reminded me of something that you were stating about the landscaping. And it's come from a guy, J. Paul Getty. I think that's his name. You know who that is? J. Paul Getty.
It sounds familiar.
Okay, I'll rather earn 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 1,000% of my own personal efforts. So it's kind of like what you're saying right now. What I get from that is kind of like what you're saying right now is that you, instead of you spending a lot of time on trying to get 100% gain of you putting that effort in for it, that you administrate it and delegate it to others and just get that 1% coming out of every one of them. You remember when we were discussing that when you was talking about like the truck stuff, the
Yeah.
van? Okay.
Well, not so much from the past conversation, but I get from where you are discussing it from now.
Mhm.
And I see that there's two basically dynamics within that. Definitely you speaking from, the entrepreneur aspect, you have a strong, entrepreneur will. And the basis of entrepreneurship is the business can run, without you. If your business needs you, you are just self-employed. So yes, me as a DJ, I'm just self-employed. My business does not run without me. It falls under the entrepreneur umbrella, but it's not a full entrepreneurship endeavor.
Well,
Um,
that's good information. I never knew
my
that. Thank you.
my point is saying it from understanding who I am, and that 1,000% of me wouldn't even be worth a 1% of somebody who is talented in that area. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Somebody who
Big
has that
facts.
skill
Big
set, and
facts.
who has been doing,
Okay.
graphic designing for X amount of years. I wouldn't even waste my time, because I'd rather figure out the system to where I am working in relationship to where it's profitable, but this is where I get the
Right.
design from. You
And then
know
you just utilizing all of the mechanisms that you have around you, the resources, the networking that you're doing to be
exactly.
involved. Yeah. But then that leaves a question that I have then when you are spending so much time then like on these projects doing it and trying to gain on it on your own, how do you think that affects an individual?
What you mean? Okay,
Um,
so first, okay, you say how does that affect the individual? But first, what is the intention behind them spending the time? Is it a true desire, or is it just to achieve a goal?
I think it would, in my mind, and what I'm explaining for is the question that I'm asking is to achieve the goal.
Okay, so the question is, are you the best person to be doing that particular job to achieve the
And
goal?
what I would consider, if you're not the one with the knowledge or the experience, then no, you are not the best person to achieve the goal.
Unless
So
you're
then,
willing to dedicate the time, and then you're back to the
right,
1,000.
and then you're right back to the same thing. So how do you think that that would affect the individual though?
Affect
Would
them
do
how?
do you think that would be damaging? Do you think that would be healthy? Do you think that could be beneficial? What?
Is back to the question: are you doing this for personal gain and knowledge?
Hmm.
Willingness, is this a part of who you are, or is it
Hmm.
just to achieve a goal?
Okay. So
Like, I mean, I don't know how to equate it, but if you do it from, oh well, yeah, we can do it from a musical standpoint. So definitely have plans, to be an educator. I'm gonna eventually go back to school, get a master's, get a PhD. But on the
okay.
side, I also going to get an associate's degree in musical, I mean, engineering, production,
Okay.
because that's a hobby, that's an interest that I have, and I'm
Right.
willing to do that, even though I'm starting from zero. So I don't know what my scale of progress will look like, but I'm willing to commit the time because I have a high interest and value, and it supports who I am and how I love music.
Okay. That's good. That makes sense then. I can see. Okay, now where are you equating the fact on how you spending that time can actually benefit you as an individual because of who you are, rather than you just trying to achieve something just to be basically just spending that time doing something just to be
Yeah, I'm not trying to just open a
right.
music studio because I know everybody trying to be a rapper. No,
Exactly.
I
Which
actually,
is which is the common thing to do because people like what they got in their mind is product and demand or what is
Mhm.
hot or what is popular or what is selling. So they're just trying to get into that avenue in it
Yeah.
in order to accumulate like what everybody else is accumulating from the
Which
category.
which when you have a business mind, such as yourself, I don't see anything, wrong with that. But I know in conversation, I don't know, you feel like I be picking on you, be
No,
trying
I
to
don't.
I be challenging your business mind because now we're of age.
Hmm.
And through era and experience, we have, for lack of a better phrase, wasted a lot of time.
Hmm.
So now these latter years should be of such high significance that it should encompass who you are, not
Right.
just achieving success for the sake of ability.
Right.
So that's why I challenge you to incorporate your personal aspects, because yeah, you have business ideas. Yes, you could start this business X, Y, and Z and build that, which is cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But it's like, where's the personal aspect? It's like living that well-rounded, all-encompassing life. Like if you
Right.
started out at 16 or even 20, make just starting a business and selling it off, that's fine, because then by the time you got to your 30s, well,
Right.
you are that millionaire, billionaire, and are living life on your own terms, to where you can explore all the things, who you are and all that. But now here we are, later in life, and
We in our 40s.
I want
We
to
don't have that
encourage,
10, 20
but
year.
but even without people, I mean, I just want to encourage people to live whole, full lives, and that
Right.
encompasses who you are. It's not
Right.
about just the money grab. It's really not just about the money, because if you have a family, your family is more important than the money.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Depend on your hierarchy, but I just view it as such. Money is a means. Money is not everything. It's just a
Right.
means to be able to do and move and have, certain things.
Right here on this
So
earth.
yeah,
Because that's what we do in order to survive. Period.
right.
I mean, that's just how the world operates on. So in order to have that for you, what you need to do in order to operate here while you're here
Mm,
substantially, then that's something that you should push forward for, and not just for something
right.
that you know.
So yeah, I
I
guess if
guess
you had to boil down to it like that's part of my mission. I'm not, that's the wrong word, but right now that's all I got. As far as how I it, how I try to, I mean, that's how I facilitate people to move. That's how
right,
I share. That's how I share my message. That's my message.
right,
My message is a full, all encompassing life, including who you are, where you see traces of who you are throughout your life. It's not, oh, I hate dogs, but I got a shelter, and you know what I'm saying. Like it's encompassing of who you are. So for
right,
those of you out there who just want to be about the business and create this business, that business. They're doing it. The Airbnbs, the event spaces, the real estate. You know, and that's just specifically, that's niche. That has nothing to do with personally who you are. That's just achieving something. Those things are out there. I'm about the whole thing. So I'm not saying that you can't have a business, that you can't have real estate, but I'm just saying it's an alignment, because I'm going to have real estate because it aligns with me having transition homes with Felon to Phenomenal. But
exactly,
I'm not finna be teaching you how to just wholesale and run through. It's not just about the exchange of that transaction to
right.
fluff your pockets.
And even when you're saying that you everybody know. Yeah, that your book writing. The book writing is just not for you to be writing a book to be putting them on the shelf so that you can accumulate money. It's the information, it's the motivation, it's the inspiration that you're literally trying to put out. So it's all integrated with who you are as an individual. And I think that's along like what you're trying to say. It's like we have talents and gifts, each and every individual. And when you're utilizing those to compensate the world, that's what's going to bring in the avenue or the revenue that you actually want in order for you to succeed in life. And you don't have to keep on spending your time wasting doing all these other things because you're doing everything that you would do naturally yourself anyway and integrating them on yourself and building a company or an empire or whatever you want to call it on top of that.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. I'm glad you got it. Look at you putting it together for me. Like
And what you do? Hey,
I,
you look, you created the emotion and the experience, and I built it. Boy.
that's it. Like I truly believe that when you are self-aware and are operating in an alignment with who you are and putting your gifts and talents and abilities and capabilities out in the world, the money will come.
Right.
But it's based off of your commitment, your execution, and your systems.
So you need to get them things down there. You put
Absolutely.
those in place because once you get those, and that's a part of the preparation stage of like what I was discussing earlier. So when you're doing that type of work right there, on behind the scene type work, then once you got those established, those are the things that come along, and you'll be prepared. Your foundation to be set, and you'll be able to, hey, you know what, this and for you on a personal level, that's how your networking and your relationships actually tie you into everything that you have deemed successful for right now. Being an extreme execution certified, being the DJ of one of the guys that you know, Eric Thomas, you know, that you that you got into, you know, and then with being on one of the most popular shows on streaming TV and TV. What station was it on?
A&E.
A&E. 60 Days In,
Mhm.
like it's just by you doing that work behind the scenes that placed you in a position where God connected those things. You know what I mean? Because that's really what, because you know, we know it wasn't easy. It just looked easy because you
Sure,
know
who would
you.
look easy too? If somebody out there said my life look easy, let me sit you down. You need to come. I need to let you come on the podcast. You need to run me down some questions because wasn't nothing easy. I done cried many times.
Right,
I done struggled many a days.
right,
I mean, but even speaking of those moments, those breakdowns, I tell you, it was like clockwork. It was like a breakdown and then a breakthrough. It
mm.
was like it's like God knows exactly when you had enough. It's like, okay, I got you. Boy, yeah, that's crazy stuff. Yeah,
So
nah.
so do you think? Because you say every time it was there, so it's like a pattern. So then the breakdown was necessary for the breakthrough.
I'm not gonna say it's necessary. I'm saying the necessariness varies because the necessariness could be necessary because I was unwilling to talk to God at the time. This is just general. This is not specific because I stayed
Mhm.
in communication. But I'm just saying it's like if you continually kind of going through the routine and the weight of it is getting on you, but you've never, expressing yourself and talking to God about it and just saying, God, it's tough. It's hard. I can't do this no more. I need something. I need being specific of what you need. Um, you know, or it was just that um, I no longer, I mean, kind of, I guess the same thing. No longer could bear the situation. It was heavy,
Right,
and I needed relief. It was more. The breakdown was because I was going to give up.
right,
Like if nothing happened soon, at this point where I was, I'm down. I'm out.
right,
Like this is it's not looking good, you know.
right.
And there was always something to carry me through. So yeah, that's how that happened.
Okay,
So
that's
the
what's up.
necessariness of it, I guess, is based off the individual in that sense.
Right,
What you need, or what you're not doing.
for what you're not doing. Right.
So I can say that. What's your take
Okay.
on that from your experiences? Because it's a heavy load, bro. Fertile phenomenal is a heavy load. Life is heavy itself, But hey, let's keep it a buck with that Felon to Phenomena, bro. This is a road we signed up for. Like, don't get it mistaken. Ain't nobody did this to us but us. Like, let's not
Big
play that game.
facts.
Let's not
Big
play that game.
facts. You're right.
We
You
grown
might
up
not
here.
understood. You
We
might
grown
not
up here.
understood exactly. So it ain't no pity party, woe is me type thing over here. It's what we signed up for. So yeah, it's definitely in that understanding and mindset. Like, okay, we did what we did. We got to where we were at. Now, what are we gonna do from now? You know what I mean? Like, this is what we gotta live up with, and that's kind of just like where I look at it from. Is why these little last 2 years of parole was easier than most things. Is because it's like, for one, I don't think the way they handled the situation was right. But at the end of the day, this is what I signed up for.
Oh,
And
what are you talking about? The situation with parole? How they do parole and probation?
yeah, how they
Oh
do
yeah, it's
parole and
garbage.
probation.
It's garbage. Yeah.
Super garbage.
Yeah, we can talk
And
about that next time. Thank you for bringing that up because I seen a video that I'm gonna play. I download it next time, and we could talk
okay,
about
we can
probation
talk
and
about that.
parole.
Okay, that's a bit. And but at the end of the day, it's like, this is what I signed up for. You know, being in there and being estranged from everything that I did not even appreciate in the first place, and feeling however I'm feeling because of that. Whether if it's family, whether if it was friends, whether if it was loved ones, whether if it was like, the system and so forth, everything in that. At the end of the day, the mindset that I had is, this is what I signed up for. You know what I mean? I did this to myself, and I can't hold anybody else fault or even be mad at them, because life does go on. One monkey don't stop no show. Just because life has taken a break with me being in this box, it continues out there. So to expect someone to give up theirs because of my decisions and choices, that would be selfish. That's the way I see it. And I couldn't expect that. I literally just had to have that mindset that, what, I made this choice. With these choices, I have to accept the consequences, or even just the results that came along with it, whether I like them or not. So yeah, this journey from failing to phenomenal is challenging, and
So how have your how have you transitioned in any heavy moments that you've experienced in these last 2 years of being out?
say that one more time.
I was saying, how have you experienced the heaviness or the transition of having a heavy moment into the next phase, or that space of wanting to give up, you know, what was that transition or continuation like for you, because you haven't given up. But I one thing I know, you've had the experience, and it's not even based off of the fact that we have conversation. This is backed off of the reason why I created Fell into Phenomenal, because it's a journey, because you're gonna go through it, and it ain't gonna be the last one. The last one that you had ain't gonna be the last one.
Right. They just continue going on. Man, I don't know. It's really just kind of hard to explain um, how. I can tell you that challenging is definitely not the word that I'm looking for, but I would probably say overwhelming. Um, Very. I broke in tears many days off of some of the smallest and simple things. But it was also a realization too. Um, Before coming home, I came to realize the reason why I wanted to make my first parole was to come and chase after something that wasn't even meant for
Mm,
me. And specifically, it was a marriage that I got into that
mm,
I shouldn't have got myself into because it wasn't good from the get go. But you know, when, like you said, when you're pursuing money and that's all you're pursuing, you end up getting a bunch of stuff that you don't want with it, and you end up losing that regardless. So when you're just meeting somebody's needs and the foundational truth of why y'all together in that relationship ain't there, then you end up getting a whole bunch of what it's called toxicity. But you get a whole bunch of other stuff that you really don't want to get just to get those instant gratification or those little small needs that you're being met. So, I came to realize that the anxiety that I was holding, and that can vary from a lot of things. Because I had anxiety to come and get that bag. When I came back, I had a job that was set up for me, and that's probably why I'm still in that phase of where I'm at right now. And I had to reconsider like what's going on. That's why I'm content, because I had to reconsider that, because you challenged me. I don't feel that you're picking at me when it's doing. You're hitting home in other areas that you're just seeing that there could be some good possibilities. But chasing that bag was another one. When I came home, I had a job set up for me working with you with the landscaping. That fell through. It wasn't
It
like,
wasn't that it fell through. It was
no, okay, I'm sorry, you're right.
yeah. I mean, just to add a little context, I mean, it's seasonal and he was trying to work you in slowly and work somebody else out. So it wasn't immediate. We'll say that.
Right.
It wasn't
Right.
immediate.
And that's what I was looking for, was the immediate. Because in my mind is I needed to hurry up and start making me some money so I can start doing the things that I want to do with what I have planned for myself. And that didn't happen. And I went out there and I went and found the job. And everybody can clap and say that this is a good thing. But it wasn't until my sister went to 60 days in, came back, and rested from a different type of transition. This is a place that she willingly went to, as, I don't know if you consider it work, what you did with 60 days in? Or like a mission?
It was. I would say it would work. I consider 60 days in to be my first check for Felon to Phenomenal.
Okay, see, bam, that's a big check. But
absolutely, absolutely.
I can put your business out there. That's a big check for the first one.
Yeah.
But when I see you come and you did I would say a proper transitioning from that type of environment, because all the people that been in there, man, that is an extreme environment to be in, and to get back into society and not allow yourself to emotionally and mentally detox. Say it one more time. Not because, you know what? I'm gonna put it to you like this. Because when you leave from the free world to incarceration, your digestive system takes a detoxing transitioning from the food that you had from out here to the food you had from there, and vice versa. When you leave out and you come in and get that first fast food meal, your digestive system takes a total turn of detoxing the very thing. So when you don't do that mentally and emotionally, you're failing to allow yourself to detox internally. I didn't do that. I jumped straight in it with what we say, hit the ground running, chasing that bag. There's two situations that I said that where I allow myself to have a overwhelming moment from that type of trend. I came out successfully. Yeah, I'm good. I'm better. I am right now who I am today. And I got a lot out of it in those 2 years. I can't say what would have and what wouldn't, but just how much more productive and effectively and healthier I could have been if I would have just done it a different type of way. You know what I mean?
I get
just
that.
Allowing those,
Yeah, definitely something to think about.
Right. So that's kind of some of the things that I experienced with that transition.
Okay, so you're trying to say moving forward, that would be some advice that you would give to somebody.
Absolutely.
Even knowing what you know, even knowing how you pushed through these last 2 years, you would still recommend that. Like, look, take the time out and get acclimated.
Absolutely. I'm doing that currently, right now. This ain't just
talk. Oh, okay. So you had to come back to it.
Achilles. Yes, because I did it with Achilles when he came home. Everybody don't know I was incarcerated with Achilles. He came home. He same mindset, hit the ground running. He's still doing it. And I got two other brothers that's incarcerated right now. One, he's a little bit more humble, a little
Oh,
bit
you
more
talking
steady,
about
more.
giving advice? I was talking about actually implementing the detox arrest. You talking about just giving advice?
Oh no, yeah, I'm talking about the giving
Okay,
the
okay,
advice
okay.
part. As
That was
far
just
as them,
clarification for me.
oh, okay.
Because I thought
Oh,
you was
you
trying
thought
to
I
say
was
you
talking
was
about
implementing the rest of detox right now. I was like, okay.
no,
I heard.
I wouldn't say that. I'm definitely
Okay.
implementing more rest. I can tell you that because I've been getting 7, 8 hours of sleep every day, and my workouts much better when I get up in the morning than them. I can do it 4, 5 hours. You ain't young no more.
There you
But
go.
nah, yeah, that's what I was doing. I was implementing in some of the guys that I know that are about to come home, and kind of telling them that you know, with that walk of that anxiety, allowing them because they're ready, and I get it, I
But
understand.
are they listening though? Like, so don't nobody listen. So you giving out advice, don't
One,
nobody
one,
listen.
one
Okay,
listening,
okay.
one listening, and that's the one that I know that is more humble. You know what I'm saying? He more into his word of God anyway than the other one. Both of them are Christians though. And he's more cool, calm, collected. You know what I'm saying? And we actually have a better relationship with one another. And I think a significant role with that too is that I'm open and honest with him, and I listen to him as well. So it's not even just one sided. Even though I'm out here, he's reminding me of what life is in there. I don't have my shoes, my shorts, my boots, and all that to remind me what TDC was like. I have people that's still in TDC that's talking to me on a daily basis and remind me, hey, homeboy, you don't want to come back here. So you
Mm.
make sure you keep yourself and remember what it's like in here. That's kind of like what I have. I have, real life things like that, not just the boots that I can throw in the back of the closet and forget about
Okay, okay. Well, what else you had? You said you had something else in your notes. Did we talk about everything?
it. Now, we ain't even talk about nothing in my notes.
All right. Well, we'll see if we talk about something. We'll see. We'll see.
Right. I had some other. Oh, what is this?
Man, if y'all checking
Oh,
out the podcast, man, if y'all doing it on like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, man, if you could slide a rating in there, you watch it on YouTube, slide a comment, man, interact,
yeah,
man.
big facts.
Look, I need to try to we need to know if this stuff is useful,
For what?
helpful. What y'all want to
For,
talk about? What y'all want to
hey,
know? Like, let somebody
no,
know.
shoot us out there. We open. We
Yeah,
definitely need some constructive criticism.
exactly. Just a little commercial break while you look for whatever you're looking for.
One of the things that I have in here, it's not even one of the other ones it was just a little thing that I know we was talking about on the Monday Momentum call, and I had a question that came to mind: is why unrealistic expectations can become limited beliefs.
Why unrealistic expectations can become unlimited
No,
belief.
limited
Oh,
beliefs.
become limited belief.
Yes.
Okay, you want to give me some context behind that?
No, I ain't got no context.
Well,
I
where the question come from?
told you it came from that. It came from the Monday Momentum call that day when you were talking about limited beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And what I thought of in my mind is if I was a person that did not have realistic expectations towards time, towards options as far as doing things, and really just not knowing like what it looks like, experiences, relationships, and all that. So of course, when it comes to limited beliefs, there's a belief system that's in your mind that limited you and hindering you from becoming better and stuff like that. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, how can an unrealistic expectation become a limited belief then? Because if it's something that you see that this is what you're expecting and this should be, then how could that stop you from moving forward, progressing, and stuff like that? I mean,
Okay, I might be missing the mark, but I'm gonna break this down. Okay, so a limiting belief is a state of mind or belief about yourself that restricts you in some way.
Right.
Okay. So then we go to an unrealistic expectation.
Are you googling
Unrealistic.
it?
Yep. Hey, look, I don't have to. I ain't got time to be making everything up. I be wanting to know. Sometimes my memory ain't the best. Okay, having a wrong idea of what is likely to happen, or of what you can really do. Uh, yeah. Okay, having a wrong idea of something.
So why having a wrong idea about something that you can really do can become a I'm just putting the
Oh
definition
yeah, no,
of the
I
two
see
things
you.
together.
Yeah, but I was
Oh,
gonna see if you remember what I said. The limited belief was.
I was asking
Uh-huh.
for you to. It was a
Uh-uh.
dot dot dot. I was asking for
Uh-uh.
you to intervene right now. Come on. Hey,
And
look. Huh?
I don't know. I think he just made up a difficult question.
I probably did make up a difficult
I
question. I'm good for
mean,
that.
they each have their own limitations, so it's no need even to make them one. Um, Now I can simplify it in saying if you have unrealistic expectations, you lack self awareness, and you don't have a realistic idea of who you are or what life takes in certain aspects. If you're talking about time, you may not have the best relationship with time to be able to
Mm,
fully assess. You don't have a good relationship with time, or you don't have a good relationship with yourself. Like whatever the expectation is, you lack understanding and knowledge of yourself and or what the situation is.
okay.
Now, if you have a limiting belief, uh, that's programming in you to where you believe something about either life and or yourself.
So in a sense, you said that there's no connection
Yeah,
because if one
nah.
is what you don't know and what you do know.
Yeah.
Because
And it
the unrealistic expectation is something that you don't know and that you
absolutely.
don't understand.
Yeah.
And the limited belief is something that you just been taught that you do know and it's been embedded in you,
Yeah.
and
And
that's what you believe.
it could be false. Yeah, definitely
Right? It
false,
could be false
untrue.
or true.
But
Yeah.
currently this is what you feel like you know.
Right.
And it is ruling you and your steps.
Okay. Well, then the question was far fetched.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, but that brings up a good point, man. I appreciate you willing to put yourself out there because in all actuality, as I get deeper into, my scientific, knowledge and information, it's just like sometimes in daily conversations and even in, society and whatever we're trying to achieve, I think we ask the wrong question. Many times. I think we have the wrong, you know, conversations
Right.
that are irrelevant to progress or solving problems or gaining more knowledge or information. I think it's just centered around what I want to talk about or what I think or what I feel.
Right.
And I was
At
just
that
like,
particular time. Right. Right. I think
okay.
that's so true. That's why I value accountability partners, so to say, or whatever you want to say when you're actually discussing with somebody that's trusted that you can talk about because it helps you to get out your own head and to hear from someone else's perspective and be like, okay, but no. You know what I mean? Because it just kind of helps you sharpen it up and put things in real perspective. Because
That's true.
sometimes we do ask those questions like you said, then you value, okay, so where do you think that from, where do you get that from, or they ask questions on top of that to see is like nah, I don't think those going together, like what was you feeling or thinking at the time, what happened that made you think that, and in that sense it just kind of brings you to that mode because we all are in certain type of situations such as what we discussed being in those transitionings from those difficult situations in life coming from feeling to phenomenal. You're in an emotional state at that particular time that you might not be thinking in that rational, logical way. You might be thinking off of that situation itself. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
man. You been rocking and rolling our episode. You in your bag, bro. You cool. You are content, cooling, and just you know what I'm saying, sharing the information. All right. Well, look, okay, we got
Yeah.
time for one more. What else you got in your phone? One more, and then we get out of here.
All right. Another one is it comes from my understanding and upbringing is the one I was telling you about being responsible for one's life, your own life, growth, decisions, choices, actions, and goals. No one else is responsible for that for you. Where does a life coach, such as yourself, or a guide, such as myself, play in another person's life?
Okay.
The responsibility of their life, and what I consider it is by like grabbing them by the hand and walking them through it. Me being a guide, of course, I would use that direction. When should you let them go?
Oh, okay. That's the ultimate question. When should I let them go? Well, look. See, I'm being nice right now. See, cause right now ain't nobody paying. Okay,
Right. Facts.
but when they paying, sure, it's whenever they want to stop paying.
Okay,
Um,
that's a good point too.
no, I think well when you're talking about a life coach,
Hmm.
um, you're encompassing all that is one's life. It's different from having a basketball coach or a football coach or financial coach. You may have a particular end goal, or your career may end to where their services are no longer needed. Uh, Having a life coach, I could be somebody's lifelong coach depending on how much progress they're trying to make in their lives, or how much attainment they're trying to achieve, or how much fulfillment they're trying to achieve, or until they figure out the secret to do it themselves.
Mm, that's good. I concur with that,
Yeah.
with both of those, and even in the sense when, well, I don't know. I really can't even say that because if a person is not putting in effort from the get go, I probably wouldn't be investing too much time with it anyway because the person has to be effort. They have to put in that effort in order for you to. Other than that, we're wasting both of our time. And I'm definitely not going to waste my time. My time is already valuable and limited. I'm trying minimize that to the things that God is calling me to do. So yeah, I can concur with that. Then I think those are good points because like once a person do come to that understanding and grasp like what you were put there to help them understand in their life, it's about time for them then to let that go and to experience themselves and then kind of you know, maneuver through that. And maybe then, they probably had to call and visit and be like, hey, you know what, this, and,
Mm.
you either, tell them like what you think, you know what I mean? Based off of, what you've already given them, you'll see it and they might not see it due to the fact of they're in the midst of that situation and, their emotions probably get the best of them or they might just can't see it due to anything else. You can always question something on top of that to, kind of reaffirm them or to remind them the things that y'all have already had revisited through y'all time together.
Oh yeah, man. But you brought up a question from a state and place of mind of you embracing, personal development and seeing the impact of, the results and the usefulness of it. Uh, I feel most of the people that I'm trying to reach or willing to help or wanting to share this information with do not see the value or
Yeah.
do not understand that a life coach is is needed. I would say needed. I mean, I say needed on the effects of almost anything and everything one wants to achieve in life. Or if you look at the people that you look up to, they've had mentors. They've had guidance. They've had a coach per se based off of a particular area that they may needed guidance in. It may not have been in their life, but if it was finances, at one point in time they got a finance coach. If it was in business, one time they got a business coach. Or it's the same concept, even if it's just from a mentor aspect. It's someone who has gained quite a bit of knowledge, is successful in that particular area, and are sharing that information with you. Like, it's just as simple as that. And I tell you, I mean, people had to pay for it. I mean, what? There's a clip going around. It's an old clip. Well, not too old, but it was Master P talking about sitting sitting down with, I forgot whose lawyer it was, but it was somebody big. I don't know if it was Michael Jordan or Michael Jackson, but the the fact that he represented someone who has had such grand success, and Master P wanted to meet with him, he was charging him X amount of dollars just to meet with him, and that's on the basis of, this is what I produce out of people, so my time is valuable.
Mm,
And Master P paid it. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Because he knew, it is true what that person has to offer, and they're good at what they do. I might be getting the scenario wrong, but the point is he sought out somebody who was an expert in a particular area, who got
right,
people to a particular place that he wanted to go, and it was an investment that he had to make.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But also the point of that is just knowing who to contact and where to invest in that
And know
sense.
what you want, because
All
in
that.
that sense, yeah, he knew that. And I mean, you bring up a good valid point, because I run across a lot of people that don't think that the things that they're dealing with is a problem. And
Mhm. What you mean by that? Expound on
um,
that, please.
for instance, a person that has been incarcerated before, and they come out of incarceration and they continue doing the criminality. They
Mhm.
don't see it as a problem. So in that sense, when you're trying to communicate with an individual that such, is like, what am I doing? Like, you know what I mean? They don't even see that this is not what it's supposed to be. That there is something else, and there's other options to achieve the things that you're literally trying to accomplish. Because what we're not saying to individuals like this is what you're trying to accomplish is bad.
Mhm.
We're not saying that. We're just saying that the way you're trying to accomplish it is not the best and most effective way, because you can succeed in it. That's the only reason why I'm saying. Well, I'm not saying that you can't even, but is it long lasting? Like, how long will you be able to, and how much will you end up being put out that you're putting in? That's bad for business itself. As a business minded individual, we want to spend as least as possible, but make as much as possible while giving quality at the same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, man, we gonna end on that note because I don't
That's
want to
what's up.
go over time.
Yeah, you had to run through that last time. You was just 4 minutes over time. I did.
Yeah,
4 minutes.
we
All
not
right.
gonna do this time, but man,
All
again,
right.
appreciate you for always for your insight and your information, and your openness. You know what I'm saying, and being a part of this community, and yeah, spreading the word, letting people know what's going on,
All right.
and
My
sure.
pleasure.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
So yeah, man, all right, all y'all out there and fell into phenomenal land. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and till next time, I had it and
Yeah,
then I lost it.
you lost it.
But I'm gonna say something slick
Hey,
next time.
hey, you know what? I'm gonna get you a little picture frame with it on it, so you can put it on your desk. So you always looking at the recording thing, which you don't even
Nah,
do no more. You don't do that no more. What?
what? Well, it ain't that. It's I'm gonna get into it. It's just I'll be honest. My preparation has been lackluster lately, and I have a lot of information now that I need to chop up and use. And it's just like, I don't need to keep piling up if I haven't done, you know what I'm saying, what I need to do. So let me get through and chop up the ones that I have. and create that content, and then I can get back to. And plus, at the end of the day, it's really practice for me. I'm not
Yeah.
saying, yeah, I'm not, exactly where I wanted to be with it, but I'm gonna still give the information. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna still share it, and just go with the roller coaster of it. Now, if y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all can join the Monday night calls every Monday on Zoom, 7:30 Central Standard Time, and figure out what we talking about.
Yeah.
Open to
That's
the
how you get.
public on Zoom. I post it all on my social media, and I usually have the link in the comments when I post up the podcast as well. So hope to see y'all there, man. Y'all keep getting this free game because I'm telling y'all, it ain't gonna be free for long.
From what she said, her first check to this thing was big. So
Hey,
you
look.
know,
That's
you
what I
know,
need to say. Felon to phenomenal. I ain't gonna be free for long. So y'all stay
get it while you
impactful,
can. Yeah.
productive, and be critical thinkers.
Hey, you got it.
Well, I'm still working on a piece.